Hi, I'm Gillian Alexander of Sacred Touch Limited, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of an update and also tell you a little bit more about my forthcoming trip down to Glastonbury in the south of England and why this time of year is important, and also why some of the work I'm doing at the moment is important. And just some of the opportunities to work with me when I'm there. Okay, so it's now Monday, the 13th of June, and on Wednesday I'll be heading down south. And why Glastonbury is so important in general. If you've been to Glastonbury, you'll know this already. If you've not been to Glastonbury, Glastonbury is often attributed to being the site of Avalon, and well known from the King Arthur, the Arthurian legends, King Arthur and the Round Table. And there's lots of popular stories round about that, but there's also a lot of other stories that if you start peeking under the hood a little bit, you'll start finding a lot more to those stories. And many of them are founded in much older mythology. My sense is there's some kind of link to the Mabinogion with that area as well. And I think I did check the links, and there are suggested links between the two, but when I'm in that area I definitely get a sense of the links to that. The Mabinogion is a very old set of mythology, mostly based in Wales. Yes, so Glastonbury, for lots of different reasons. There's so many ancient sites there. Obviously, you're near Glastonbury, well, very close to Glastonbury, you've got Stonehenge, and you'll know about Stonehenge, or you'll know some about Stonehenge. There's also Avebury, which is phenomenal. I would say it's far, far more impressive than Stonehenge by a long shot. Hundreds of stones there, and that's even given the fact that lots of stones have been taken away and probably put into houses and walls. As is the case for a lot of old monuments. But we're talking about places that are sort of now 5,000 years old. And so there's a huge amount of history there. It's just a very, very potent area of the land. Glastonbury town itself is worth just visiting in itself. It's one of the most hippie places you're ever likely to, sort of new agey. What you can't find there, you'll not find anywhere. But I really like it. There's a softness about it. You know, everybody's there trying to do good things. So, yeah. So Glastonbury in itself is worth a visit. This time of year is really important because we're coming up for the summer solstice in the UK. So in the Northern Hemisphere, we've got southern solstice on the 20th, or Monday the 20th of June. And that's the solstice peaks. The solstice itself is meant to be at 11:30 p.m. on Monday the 20th. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure that Stonehenge is open for the summer solstice, even though it was apparently built for the winter solstice, but it is opened. You normally have to pay. It's quite a significant payment you have to make to get into there, and there's lots. It's very touristy now, unfortunately, but come the summer solstice, they open it up to the general public, and you can basically, you don't need to pay, and you can go in. Obviously, there's big numbers of people there if you're not keen on crowds, but it's worth going because it's just a very, very powerful gathering, and there's a build up to it around about that time as well. So during Monday, there'll probably be lots of things going on in that area. There's usually a gathering on top of there's a hill in the middle of Glastonbury, or near, well, sort of on the edge of Glastonbury, called Glastonbury Tor, and that's also a sacred site in itself. And there's usually a gathering at the top of there either in the morning of the solstice or in the evening. I don't know. Last year I was there when I think the solstice was at about 5 in the morning, and this year it's obviously nearly midnight. So I'm not sure when the gathering will be. I'm guessing it'll be on Monday night. But there's lots of things going on there. So the reason the solstice is an important time. If you look at all of the ancient sites, most of them were built to engage the rising sun, rising and setting suns on the solstices, or the solstice, I think the plural is, or on the equinoxes. Most of them are on the solstice, so either the winter or the summer solstice. And you'll see most of them that the sunlight lines up and comes in on the into the altar area or into the inner sanctum or wherever it is. But that's worldwide. Most places, most of the ancient sites will be built in the same way. And yes, so, and it's also, if you start working with the energies of the earth, you'll start feeling that there is a difference with the earth energies at different times. It just feels more potent. So if you're into doing ceremony, you'll find that your ceremonies are just ramped up a lot by, the energy of the ceremony is ramped up a lot at these times of year. And then what's also happening on the Monday, it's just after noon, I think it's five minutes past noon, on Monday the 20th of June, is the full moon peaks. And if you work with moon energies, bearing in mind that the moon influences the tides of the oceans, and we are made up mostly of water, so it stands to reason that the moon energies will influence us. There's lots of different research that's been done in terms of crime rates apparently peak on the full moon, and these studies have been done worldwide. It definitely seems to have an influence on us, hence the delightful terms of lunatic, loonies in English. I'm sure in other languages you've got similar terms. It's associated often with madness. My sense around that is it's not madness. Often what is mistaken for madness is often it's sort of spiritual awakening or different things. So a lot of people will feel an intensification of their own experience at that stage, whether it's an energetic intensification in them, or they might start finding that their head's just full of stuff, or just things start happening when things start getting intensified. So the fact that we've got a full moon and we've got the solstice at the same time, it slightly suggests that we're going to have a very hot Monday. And that's not necessarily in weather terms. It's Britain after all. But it's anybody who's sensitive is likely to be feeling it on Monday. So my experience with this stuff is either you've got different options. So you can either go, well, it's all nonsense, I don't believe in it and it's not happening, and then wonder why weird things are happening to you. Or you can stubbornly just defy that it's real and just carry on regardless, and I'm stronger than this. A lot of people will do that just by numbing themselves out. I know I did it for years. Either you can, sort of different people do it different ways. I just suppressed all my emotions. I used a lot of caffeine. I used to drink a huge amount of coffee. I didn't recognise what I was doing, but it was the only way I could actually sort of cope with it I didn't understand it was all real. I know that I found that just banal TV will numb things out. It just helps you zone out. This stuff does not actually fundamentally help you, but it sort of, if you're feeling like you're in a battle zone, it sort of gets you through that stage. But it just depends on why you believe you're here. If you believe you're here just to sort of get through it, then fine, use everything you can. But it is possible to thrive in it. So that brings me to the other option, where you've got a real choice to fully engage everything. And there are so many opportunities, especially at this time. There's so many amazing opportunities and a lot of really, really strong experiences to be had. So if we actually really come into our own alignment, stay in our own center by looking after ourselves impeccably, getting enough sleep. I find cutting out caffeine a huge help for me. Certainly alcohol I'm very, very wary of if I go near it. So things that normally would help us zone out. So TV, alcohol, caffeine, sugar, fat-laden foods, animal products seem to sort of also help people sort of numb out. Any of these things. So basically what these are doing is they're basically taking us out of the situation. So by if we're wanting to actually fully engage our experience, we really need to be cutting these things out. Getting enough movement. Yoga, if yoga works for you, work with it. Anything that feels good for you. I find shaking really helpful. Sort of any sort of stretching exercises, particularly things that stretch out your joints and bring, sort of support you to come into more subtleness. The more movement we've got in our own body, the more we can actually engage. The more growth we're able for. And although some of this growth may not be happening on a physical level, it kind of is too. So it just supports us. Most of us who aren't choosing to zone out are finding that we're growing a huge amount. I know that my psychic abilities are skyrocketing. Bearing in mind, I am a scientist still. So even when I start speaking these words, I'm sitting there thinking, you sure you mean that? But I do mean that. So I just ask anybody who's been around me. I know stuff that there's no possible way I would know. I have always had that capacity, but it's just increasing more and more now. And I'm finding it really, really helpful. Partly because it gives me a chance to start zoning into sort of what's really coming up for me, and what's going on in the wider environs. So I would not say I'm an expert at all in terms of things like astrology, but I know what's going on with these things because I can feel it in my own body. So I tend now just to sort of trust all of these things, because they're almost like sort of early warning systems for sort of, okay, what's coming next? And it also allows me to adapt to what's coming up and also to benefit most from it. It's actually an amazing journey if we engage it fully. If we're trying to survive it, it can not be fun at all. But if we're really engaging it, it can be absolutely amazing. So Glastonbury and Solstice and the full moon. Okay, so they're all going to be, I'm going to be there at that time. On the weekend just before that Monday, so the Saturday and Sunday, Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th, I'm running a sacred de-armouring workshop in the centre of Glastonbury. That sounds like it's on the street. No, it's not. It's in a lovely venue just off the main street. And why this is such a potent time to be doing de-armouring, obviously, as you're coming to the full moon, as we're approaching the full moon, obviously the moon is getting larger, and usually the tradition is that you use that energy to enlarge anything else you want in your life. So anything you want more of, using that energy to sort of support the amassing of something you want more of. And as the moon then starts decreasing in size, so as it's waxing, as it's getting fatter, using that energy to increase anything. As it's waning, anything you want to shed and let go of. So if we have the opportunity to do a de-armouring workshop, to start getting all of these things moving, and then you've got a free run just to sort of release all of those things from the Monday onwards. One of the things that you will find after working with me in any capacity at all, that the work keeps going afterwards. So, and interestingly, actually, it starts working as soon as you connect with me. But I've had a couple of clients saying that to me recently. A prospective student saying that as soon as she'd made the commitment to work with me, she says, "Oh boy, I can feel it working already." And then a client who's had been working with me, actually was one of my previous bodywork clients, aromatherapy massage clients, who's actually wanting to go into some more deep work with me, and saying that just knowing that as soon as he'd committed to working with me, it was already starting things to shift. He's been finding that I've been working with him in his dream time. He's been having very, very vivid dreams where we've been working together, which is not uncommon. Basically, once I start working with somebody, then I'm kind of available to work with them from then on. Not necessarily in the most normal of ways. It's not usual way you sign up for a workshop and you find all your dream time is engaged in the same work or whatever. Usually that's for people who are really ready for doing their own work. Okay, so so the de-armouring workshop, you'll find more if you look for my Sacred De-armouring and Sacred Touch workshop, or Sacred De-armouring with Gillian Alexander YouTube clip. There's more about my de-armouring work there. So that workshop's on the Saturday and the Sunday. I'd so encourage you to come. It's just everything is colliding in that to make it, sort of to combine for a promise of an incredibly intense weekend, but welcomely intense. I think you'll find that your body and everything about you will delight at having that opportunity to start clearing some of this stuff. So my sense is some of you will be finding that at the moment you're finding life can be throwing you quite a lot of challenges at the moment. There's no coincidences. There's a lot going on at the moment. And if you're in any way, shape or form sensitive, and pretty much every single person is, different people may have different abilities to be dodging it, but on a level, you'll all be finding that you are sensitive to this. I can help you with this, so please do come and look for me. Even if you can't get to Glastonbury, I do sessions over Skype, and if you can come and work with me when I'm in Scotland, back home in Scotland, then do. My Skype sessions are quite different from my in-person sessions, but both of them are very powerful in different ways. For some reason or other, sometimes I seem to be able to shift things quicker in a Skype session, but certain things, it doesn't. They're just different sessions. So I will also be offering in-person sessions when I'm in Glastonbury, and mainly on the Friday. There's one session on the Saturday night which is already booked, and I think I may offer one session on the Sunday night, but first preference for that will be somebody, anyone in the workshop space. I may also be offering one session on the Monday morning, Monday the 20th, but that just depends on what else is going on then. I may also be doing ceremony on Monday. Well, I certainly will be doing ceremony on Monday, but I'm not sure when. I'll definitely be following what feels right at that stage. Okay, so if any of this is resonating for you, and especially if you're finding that things are feeling pretty hot for you at the moment, pretty intense, do look for me. I can definitely help you with this to guide you through this process. That's definitely one of the things I'm here for, is to guide people through their process. So The other thing in Glastonbury, my colleague Carol George will also be there with me. She'll be offering sacred de-armouring sessions and also sacred touch massage sessions. If you've never experienced sacred touch massage, also sometimes called tantra massage, although tantra massage is sometimes used to refer to something very different, it's a beautiful experience. So I would really encourage you, but that can't be done over Skype sessions at all. So I'd really encourage you to take advantage of Carol being there, to have a session with her as well. Okay, so my lovelies, yeah, I look forward to meeting some of you in Glastonbury, and maybe working with you over Skype or in person elsewhere otherwise. And however you decide, I hope that you're flowing through this amazing time beautifully, and that all is well in your world. Thank you.